Listen to the light.
Yeah, that's,
No light, no.
no, light.
Oh
But
my
she
God.
turns it on.
Oh, you get to
I
turn
Yeah,
just
so we.
Oh, we're on, okay.
We're back. All right, cool. So if you guys had a moment to take a look at our April board minute meetings, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Wayne motion, second. Okay, appreciate you guys. We'll move on to discussion of our roundtable. We was just talking about meeting. So our main meeting was actually the roundtable that we had on May 23rd. And so we can kind of talk about that, what we feel like went well, what we feel like we can improve really quickly, just to kind of debrief over that. So I still got my notes from the meeting. So what do you guys feel like went well? What do you feel like can improve? Let's go with Wales first. Well, give me the goods. Give me all the goods from the round table.
I love the flow. Go ahead.
Oh,
Flow.
yeah, I was gonna say that, I love the flow, and also, I think we got more because we had less people. So I think, we were kinda able to get some really good information, it wasn't rushed, I really like that.
Okay. Flow of the conversation, more discussion.
Yeah, and y'all did a good job too at,
Y'all did.
yeah, mediating that was a good job. Also, I like the topics were good as well. I always like hearing from the response team and getting their information and what's changed from the last meeting until now. I like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave some really good information.
Gotcha. Response time.
I agree. I was looking over my notes here, and the crisis response team was very informative. I loved the information that was given there, and I loved having the educator there as well. That gave me a different perspective from just a citizen, someone that works with children. Loved that aspect of it. I thought that was a neat perspective.
Yeah, I agree, it was.
Yes, just to kind of give it from her generation,
Her generation.
outside of,
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, that was really good.
Mhm.
It was really good.
All right, things to improve.
Attendance.
Yeah.
I guess maybe get more in detail from response teams on some of those numbers. I mean, the numbers were good, but like some of the stuff when they broke them down a little bit, it didn't sound as good as the overall number. So maybe getting like a little more detail.
And I think we have to be mindful that when you are asking for more detailed, that these questions are basically for the general public. And so it's high level, but as you break them down, then it starts getting confusing if you don't have an overall view of what someone is talking about. So when you say break it down, I think it needs to be more maybe a specific question that is asked to get that specific detailed, so that it doesn't feel like, so some of the feedback we got from just the public was, of course, like they liked the attendees, they loved the questions, but making sure that we are hitting what the public wants to hear, because it's a community, roundtable. So again, think about it from John Q. Public standpoint, not from say what you want to hear, but what does the public want to hear when they have that set of voices in the room. And so making sure we're not forgetting about identifying that this is a public forum and you want to get some questions in that the public will want to know. So how many people want to dive into internal details, or do they have a specific question that they would like answered? And so kind of like remembering that. And so we will be mindful of that the next time, that the questions that we're asking, again, where detail is important, maybe that's important on a one-on-one with this group. But then with the general public, they're wanting to hear specific answers and questions, and then just kind of have a rhythm going with that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I have for my, like, I got notes to kind of put something together, but an organized follow-up. So that there's
Yes.
something tangible afterwards. And I know I worked on it and tried to get some feedback there. But having a document I go in with that scaffold to be like, I'm plugging this point, this point, this point, and we're able to produce something within a week or two after about a follow-up.
And I think that should be a task for someone who's not moderating. I
Yeah.
don't think you can
Right,
moderate
right,
and take
right.
notes. I think that's maybe someone else doing that. That's the task. I think every member has a task to at least get so many points that we can then come back and document it very quickly.
Yeah.
Because you want the follow-up to be quickly. You
Right.
can't drag and then
Yeah.
it comes out. It has to be, it was on
Yeah.
Thursday, by Monday, we're making a post thanking everybody, and here's an FAQ from that document.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's more of a task assignment that we looked at adding.
Yep, so that'll be a good part, because that way we can get, even if they didn't attend, you can shoot that out pretty easy, and people may read something that's pretty, where they're not
Pretty
gonna
much a
watch,
summary of
they're
it.
not gonna watch the 65-minute, 80-minute video, but they'll
read
read
summary.
4 sentences.
They'll read that summary,
It's like
yeah.
the Cliff Notes.
Right, yeah, so,
What I did notice, and I didn't know if I just missed it or not, was it live?
It was
It was not.
It was
live.
not
Okay.
live. We weren't going
Okay.
live on it.
And that's more intentional because again, when you get that group in the room, you want to be able to ask them questions, but if it's
Okay.
live and we're going question and we're not answering those,
Yeah.
they just remain dormant. And
Okay,
it's like we're not paying attention to them because we're all
true,
we're all in there. So,
True.
but I think it's a community conversation. We want the public
want
to
them
come
to
out.
come.
Yeah, we want them to
Did-
come out.
And I looked later for a recording, and I think, was there one later, I think, and I think I was looking for it that night, so that I could share it shortly after the roundtable. And I personally, this may be on me, did not see it until later. And so by the time I saw it, and I think actually Ricky G shared it, I think after I saw it, it was weeks later, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna share it now because it's old news. I probably should have shared it anyways, but I just wanted to confirm that if next go around, if we can get that out pretty quickly.
I think next go round we'll do public.
Okay.
We'll do a public, and then we'll do an FAQ after
Yeah.
that. Because I think that's the easiest. Like we had volumes, like you couldn't hear the questions,
Okay,
so you didn't
Okay.
know what was really
that's good
asked.
to know.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like, and so
So if you
it
go
did-
back and look at that one
Yeah.
that he shared, that you can't hear it. Like the
Okay.
volume, there's technical, so we have to take into account those things when
Yeah.
we're looking at that and how we're
Yeah.
sharing it. If it's something that we can clean up with volume, if it's something that we can't clean up with the
Definitely.
volume. And the thing is, we do wanna try to make sure that we put the best quality out there.
Oh yeah,
And it's public, so it was a public forum, so it's not
Yeah.
anything,
yeah.
but it wasn't the best quality.
That answers my question.
alright, cool. They have a question. Do you think, and just asking, does changing the venue, would that possibly invite more people? Or more people be open, in your opinion? No? Okay.
I wouldn't think so, cause I think it's centrally located here. Like, when you say changing the venue, what do
I was thinking a church or community center, not community, I don't know community centers like that here. But something that people may tend to frequent already versus they don't frequent this building probably often. Not some of the, so I was just wondering, cause I know when we did a couple of things
like
with
when you say change, like what would be a good like the library, or like I'm trying to
Library?
think like what would be
Don Owens, McGee.
Yeah, I would say,
Donovan to McGee. What we found is that they feel like they're not centrally located.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that was
So it's
kind of
okay.
so like if you're in McGee, your way, West Conway. If you're in Don Owens, your way,
For
north.
taking care of people.
But
boy.
there's gonna be we could definitely move it. We could definitely move it around. But the reason why, again, City Hall is centrally located. But
No, I have no issue with it. I was just asking, I mean, cause when we go back to attendance, and we can dive into it later, just trying to, cause I mean, it was, I'm not sure with analytics, I don't know all that, but I know I share, I think I saw some of you guys share, and just
I
like looking,
Two
I
with
think it's gonna be
attendance.
word of mouth more than,
It is, and if we commit, like each council member commits to bringing 5 people.
yeah.
You know, if we get 7 council members with 5 people, that's 35
That's
people
35.
outside
That'll
of the
be a
general.
good start.
You know, so we
Yeah.
can like maybe even just
I like
commit to
that.
personal, accountability as far as we're gonna bring this many people and this is how many people I'm committing to make sure are here for this event. I think that'll help because we're gonna have to drive the numbers. The council is gonna have to be the driving force behind the numbers.
Got it. Any more feedback or debriefing for our roundtable?
I have one really good positive thing to say is police chief. Loved his connection, especially with you, Wayne. When he told that story, it showed a human side of an officer, of a chief. When they're on the job, they have to be on the job. But this showed that humanness in him, and I loved that because that showed, okay, viewpoints and perspectives can change, and so I thank you for sharing that, and for him for sharing that as well. That was wonderful.
I appreciate that. That was a good moment. Brandon have to give me a little history on the interaction.
Story time. We need a story time.
Story time.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, I appreciate everybody that you guys been there and the work that you guys put in for that. I know sometimes could be frustrating dealing with people doing work and then the ones you're wanting there and things like that don't show up. But our job is to stay committed to what we said we're going to do, regardless of what it looks like. So I appreciate you guys staying committed to that, and we'll continue to do that. And so, one on Build and Grow Where You Are, we're looking at a next topic or under.
Oh, we can bump that down to number 5, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. So I'll say thanks for that as I ask for this next thing. Our next event, all right, is coming up, Culture in the Park, at MLK Square, and it is a all-in date. Nothing's changing. It is what it is, okay? And so we'll be there on that date. And so we gotta look at funding sources and sponsorships. And I think if each one of us, now, I need to refresh my memory, it's been a little bit. We was looking at different level of sponsors, and I think our goal was, let me pull out my April notes. So I don't wanna mess it up. That's the real thing.
I don't think
Why does five?
I don't think we finalized it.
Okay.
We talked about.
I'm not. I thought I was
Finalize the
thinking.
number.
Yeah, like on the amount. So we got to commit to finding sponsors for that event, and making sure that. And I did some work on it with anybody.
What was the number? Wasn't it the number that we thought we needed for sponsorship to cover?
If I'm remembering correctly, I thought we were looking at 5 or 6.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I think that was the general consensus of a number.
Yeah. Okay. And that's just general. We get more has never. I can't say never. More money really won't hurt the issue. I mean, we can always make sure that everybody attends, has access to food and things like that. But the sponsorship part, we're gonna have to own that. And so we need to make sure that we're working on finding sponsors and things like that. What I'll do, I'll get with Shawana and make sure that we have sponsors that know what they're receiving for sponsoring.
Yeah,
You know.
did we come up with that? Like what are they getting for sponsoring and stuff?
Like as far as like, promotions, advertising, those things. It was part of a discussion, but I think we probably need to come up with like a task list as it relates to sponsors, because that was another thing. This person had a thought of who was sponsoring, this person had a thought of who was sponsoring, this person had a thought of who was sponsoring, or what they could get from different sponsors, but we never solidified that. So I think that's kind of a start in a conversation, cause that was part of the conversation,
Gotcha.
but it wasn't finalized.
Something, I don't know, like something that would be like easy. I was thinking like maybe if you gave them like a, I don't know, like a Channel 22 thing, like they sponsored, you know, like all the people that do sponsor,
Like a list of sponsors on like a.
on
Just
Channel
run them
22, like
across the
run them across it like
Like a-
every so often for maybe a month or so. You know, say, hey, people, these are the people that sponsored.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
And of course, like whoever we have over the mic, you know, it being a kind of a shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do social media
and
posts, we
promotion,
can do
social media.
advertising.
banner
Mhm.
Yeah,
with their
The
name on
banner.
it. If you wanna do a t-shirt, we could do, like our t-shirt, cause our t-shirts.
Sponsors on the back.
We can do a cute sponsor t-shirt.
Everybody loves t-shirts.
Y'all have the cute ones.
so,
I mean, it's gonna be a
and,
little hot. We might need a new one.
Can we get that in the budget?
Do it.
A new shirt.
It's gonna be a little hot out there.
We technically don't have a budget.
yeah,
We can add it into the sponsors.
We can add it into the
To the
So-
sponsorship package.
I don't mind coming up with like a tiered system or something for different things for different people. So I'll own that part of it, because I actually worked on it and just set it to the side. So I'll go back to it. But I think, and what tier, I will ask for help with this part. Number wise, what should the tiers be if we do a tiered system for sponsors? Because if you give $2,000, I think your name should be a little bigger than the person that maybe doesn't get $50. You know,
Yeah.
so I was, if our goal is a minimum of 5,000, so if we did 2,000, 750 and 250 as levels, or I don't know how those staggered. I can always look at that later to see how the 10 people do it, but
5,000 and 2,000.
huh?
5,000, 2,000.
5,000?
Or 100, 250, 500, 1,000.
You know, we just found out with events and sponsorships, $1,000 is an easy sponsorship level sometimes, so.
1,000? Okay.
So if you were doing 2,000, 1,500, 250, you give everyone
I like that.
options
Yeah.
to,
Perfect.
I can't give 1,000, but I can give you 250, so.
You did say 5,000.
Did I say
You did say 5,000. I'm like, you on the word person right now. We done.
But it's just.
I thought I said
Like you
500.
get one main.
That's what we were kind of looking like.
Looking like, okay, I mean,
Okay.
well,
Okay, we get one main sponsor, all right?
Hey, go forward. So, so yeah, that's cool. I got that. I'll work on that, and I just drop some options. Be prepared to share it with you guys on that part of it.
Y'all are gonna give the city's thing number so they can write it down.
yes, we can give them our tax ID number, yes.
Yes, tax ID number. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And while we're on that, flyer, we did a flyer last year. Meg, you did the flyer
Meg
for
did that
last year.
yeah.
Do you wanna do the flyer again this year?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Is there any way we can get two versions of the flyer?
Yes.
Just two different ones? And
Yes.
just as far as advertising and promotion, we can advertise, we'll
Mhm.
just have
We
it.
need a large one for the banner and then a Facebook, social media size.
Yes.
Okay, can do.
Perfect. What would be the
Is it
date?
possible we could have those by the 1st so I can start?
Yeah,
working on it?
sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we need to like have a date, a sponsorship lock-in date.
That was my next question. So Meg, when you design the flyer, could you design it in a way that you can add like the major sponsors to it later?
Can
If we
do.
don't have them locked in.
Yeah, 'cause we'll need that for the
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
banner, right? Yeah,
yeah.
can
Maybe
do.
October would be a good time to try to lock in a date to have them sponsor.
I don't know. After.
It's okay. He been working in the, leave my boy, he been working in the sun all day.
I really have.
Okay, we
Sponsors
go,
locked
we
in
go,
by the 15th.
Wait,
we gonna move,
You right.
we gonna move you back.
October for next year?
August 30th.
I'm done.
August 30th.
Wait, so
Yeah.
October.
Maybe.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, cause
August, I mean,
Is it 31st, is it 31 in August?
You know what I meant?
No, it's 31.
I meant look, it was
Hold on.
moving like,
Does that
it
give
was
y'all
like
enough time
97
to
a day,
purchase
y'all.
what y'all
Leave me
need
alone
to?
before the heat.
it's 31 days in August.
Is it?
Yeah, because.
I was just
We
saying.
gotta do a little January, February, March.
Yeah, it's
April,
31 in August too.
Okay.
So August 31st?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Crossman did them super quick.
So-
Every time you get it submitted on my end.
We're gonna ask all sponsorships to be at the latest, let's try to have them in by, August, mid-August, but.
And then what I could do in creating, we can do a banner
Mm-hmm.
for like sponsors, and in creating that, we can do the high
Yeah.
level and then break it down by that.
So we, I think that's a very manageable goal. We'll be able to do that and do the things that we need to do. So that, yeah, that'll be cool. Cause it could be individuals or anybody.
Yeah.
So anybody can donate. So don't, everybody, their money is welcome.
2001.
Alright, so quick,
250.
with the donations, do they, well, that's a side question I'll ask later. Alright, so, we got that taken care of. We'll, move on to food trucks. So what I had on our last meeting for food trucks was, we had
Uncle Tim's, the enchilada lady,
and the Los
Lost
Delicious.
Delicious.
So are we looking at, and I think it was Candy had asked about another truck in that last meeting.
She did.
And on my, I'm trying to think of my notes, if I had April 16th.
Didn't she have somebody she wanted to find?
I don't remember the food
Yeah,
truck.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
she
think
said
she
something.
talked
I remember
about,
the resource table. but-
she talked about tacos.
Yeah, she talked
It was some, yeah, I
She
remember.
talked about a food truck.
I didn't write, it's not on my notes.
Yeah,
It's not in my
I don't have it
minutes.
written down either.
So right now, the two that we do have are the two that were there last year. And we know they did a good job and offered a variety of food, and we
All
know.
of them. But it's three of them, all three of them.
Yeah, and we know that they'll work with us in our endeavors to make sure everybody's taken care of, so. We can ask Candy when she returns about the additional, but if not, I think we will be okay with what we have unless anybody sees anything different.
I talked with, and I'm sorry, my memory is awful these days. I talked with someone, there was a new food truck, but if for some reason I talk to him again and bring it to y'all early enough, can we possibly add that? It was an Asian type of food, yeah. But I don't remember the name of it, and I have it at home.
Do we ever talk to Artie?
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it?
I didn't.
You bring it up every meeting.
And does.
I mean, I just had to
haven't
say.
talked to Artie yet.
Accident,
So
but
we
every
kinda talked about,
Who was the Asian?
and you help me remember this correctly,
I don't remember the name.
Danielle. There was a discussion
That would be good.
within the
Yeah, that would be
group
great.
about like the
Yeah.
variety of food or whatnot. For whatever reason, you think that we are not reaching out to him, but we do. We have for the food truck, because the group decided that the variety of food that was offered at the last event, and you'll be able to see it this year, that it was a great
Hit on everything.
hit on everything, and that was a decision made by your board.
It's fine, that's
Okay,
fine.
I just wanted to remind you, cause you asked
When I say I love people,
that y'all did this.
Yeah.
We did, because you know, he had the pulled pork, the hamburgers, and the fish, and the chicken.
And chicken.
Covered it all.
And nachos.
The
And
American,
nachos. Something for everybody,
the American was covered pretty much. Yeah.
fully.
so we'll work up, well, we got what we have. But if we need to add something, we may add something, but we'll have to run everything by then for spacing. Cause remember, this park
Yes.
is small,
Yeah.
so we want to make sure that there was adequate space for everybody. So that, we gotta keep that in mind, alright? Entertainment, that we had down for last board meeting was Tommy Mason and radio station DJs.
Or was it Jay?
That was Jalen.
I think
Jalen
Jalen,
was reaching
Cause I
out to
haven't
the
confirmed,
DJ
I'm waiting
people.
to see, cause I can get.
so I'll follow up with
for
Jalen and
96.5 if that date's still available for him.
so I'll follow up on that, and then I know Miss Jackie has some options if that doesn't go through. All else, Wayne will get up there and sing for us and,
Yeah.
We'll karaoke it
Come on,
out,
Wayne.
let's go, we'll karaoke it out.
yeah, so we'll have that taken care of and, go from there. As far as tables go, I think, I don't see it here, but I know in the last meeting, we had our table, Palomas, fire department, police department, face painting, art table. Then somebody in the last meeting brought up a hair table.
We
It
had one
was,
last year.
yeah, we had one
Okay,
last year.
okay. Do you know who it was and who can reach out? Miss Jackie, you gonna take, they pointed at
He
you.
was a.
Oh,
I-
you want-
I
okay.
did had the volunteers for the hair table. I will see if that's an option. Do we have any additional cultural things that we wanna add?
I was wondering, the Pine
Possibly.
Street Community Museum now has a
Oh.
little, did you know?
Oh, that's
So they
good.
they
that would be
created
a
a
good
flyer,
table.
Yeah.
and it has a history, and it did you know
Yeah.
XYZ to just get you interested,
I
and
like
then you
that.
can go
Oh,
to it at
and
any
to
time.
know, cause some people still don't know.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
That would be a good one.
Good.
Did you school me today on a
Pine
couple
Street
things?
Community
Mine
Museum.
was in the park, we need to have, and you can do a thing.
A thing for those, okay.
Let me put
Any other tables or information? Alright, we always, our dates be out for registering the
Do you
votes
think
every
they'll be
time.
registered? It does, it all-
It doesn't- I was-
She's about to ask the same question?
Well, I was gonna say, do you think Pine Street Museum would wanna have a table out there, like with their,
Sure, I'm on the board, I just,
okay.
phone call it. We got-
Just so we know
yeah, we got
space-wise
the
how we're gonna
tablecloth
set up for.
That
okay.
came in,
Yeah.
and then we just got the little brochures and stuff.
Oh, she got the table
That'd
up
be
order.
good, yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
we
that-
have to pay for it, so we got the tablecloth, and we got the brochures and all that stuff.
Now, I'm not I'm a citizen of Conway, I ain't been here for, is there any other like historical things of the city that,
Faulkner County Museum also has a lot of historical, she does events, but I could ask her.
Okay.
no, that's cool. Art table, face painting. Did y'all say it was bounce house last year?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's next. I'm not
So
sure.
activities wise, are we gonna have the same thing? Bouncy houses.
Oh, so that worked out really well. Yeah.
Anything y'all wanna add to activities? Thinking of family stuff?
Were we gonna move that bouncy house? Cause you remember we talked about how far it was? Okay.
We're gonna have a way to wrap it around.
The only thing I think that,
Checkers.
I wasn't physically there, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
But like the little the little bag toss, what do you call it? The little big
Cornhole?
cornhole.
Back up.
Corn, is that the same thing?
It's the
Same
same.
thing.
Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, little games that,
Mm-hmm.
So we had we'll have Bago, we'll have the
Checkers.
checkers, we'll have Jenga.
oh, that's
That'd be
cool.
cool.
Hey, when you leave today, just for the record, in our May meeting, there's a box that's under our table in the council chambers that has like soccer balls in it and footballs, you know, that I finally returned.
Okay. I got
She
you.
was like, after 8 months, I'm like,
After that, man, like, I finally returned it though.
They may call you about some interest.
he might. Something new, there should have been a surprise.
I'm gonna
in the
have to
box.
get you a pizza
Yeah.
card or something for the kids.
But,
Some like
Yeah,
the
man,
little
buy a whole
small
new one
ones,
already.
if we get enough sponsorship, you know, they like bubbles, so the
Yes,
little
that
thing
would be
with
good.
bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Now-
Young kids love bubbles.
yeah,
That would be
bubbles will be cool.
I don't know if this is too too soon to ask it or if y'all even want it, but there is a bubble guy.
Yeah, we heard about the bubble.
Okay.
He's so much fun.
Well, I went to school with him.
You get to have some sponsorship for you.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
love to have him.
Do y'all want me to reach out to him?
I think
And
he,
if he's sponsored.
We can take care of that. Do y'all know the bubble guy?
I've never heard of it, but I'm
So-
interested.
Is he with the big rope?
He has the
thing?
rope,
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
and
I've
he
seen it,
does-
yeah.
Yeah, he does the
He
big.
does the ropes.
he did it.
So he's got these
I like
ropes that
bubbles.
are shaped in circles, and he dips them in big buckets of bubbles,
Oh.
and then comes out and he does these humongous
Yeah.
bubbles.
Not your average bubbles. These are
No,
like-
these are huge.
They're huge.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'll reach
My
out to
son
him.
gonna be the whole time. Ain't
Listen,
gonna move.
Ava too, chasing.
Ain't gonna move, boy.
Aiden to be on Bago. That's what he gonna be. But okay, cool. So Bubbles guy, I'm gonna put Meg name by that. Then
When are we looking at confirmations for these? Like the
The people,
The
like
people.
activities and stuff.
What date do y'all need that by?
I think
I mean,
they
I
should,
can
they should
reach out
probably
to
be the
them.
same as the sponsors.
Yeah,
no late,
But-
yeah.
but that's,
no
that
late.
gives us a month.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, if we need to figure something else out.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him this week.
I like that.
Do you need to keep that little box for the submissions in?
I almost was gonna say that.
I probably need to keep the box, I'll
Yeah,
just keep
yeah,
it,
just-
just
yeah.
remind me afterwards, we'll have the box ready and I'll
Yeah.
just send it with y'all
Yeah.
then.
Okay,
Nice
that's
little-
good.
With a nice little token of appreciation.
Okay, yeah, you just hold on to the box.
It ain't like seeing you 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 times. You did
Oh,
move,
cool.
you did
We got tables.
Can we go back to the flyers? 'Cause
Yes.
My mind is remembering that for the purpose of getting more people out, we were going to like walk into different businesses and hand out flyers. Do we need to assign tasks for that? Because
I don't mind.
I think
doing
that's
I don't mind doing it
that.
either. I just
don't
need
mind doing that.
to know if there's something that we want to
I think
do.
I think the easiest way to do that would just do hotspots, like maybe do like, you know, Kroger's, 10 Box, Walmart.
So we
Instead of
put
trying to do like every place, that'd be a lot, but if you just hit
Well,
like,
I'm thinking like
Wayne,
nail
Jackie, Danielle
salons.
on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Me and you.
Yeah, we put a, just give me a
You say
date or
hair
time and I'll
salons,
put it on my.
Just a thought, and you kind of see if you, what you think about it. I know a lot of times people, tie people to, or like pictures of people, so I don't know if like we could use some of the photos from the last event, possibly.
Okay.
I'll see what we
Okay.
have to maybe add a couple to
To
the.
show people
Face as hell.
what it looks
Are
like.
we able to do that privacy wise?
If you know who's in the picture.
Okay,
Yes, if you're in
I'll see
public,
if I
you're
think
in
it's
a
gonna-
public,
Okay.
public.
Yeah.
okay,
Should
perfect.
not
yeah,
be.
no, I mean, if you took the picture in public,
Yeah.
you don't need a
Yeah, that's
privacy
true.
act for
I
it.
just didn't know if,
Anything in
if I'm
public,
sharing
is
it.
legal.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
no, you can share
Okay.
it, yeah.
I could actually tie something creative into that, so I could definitely do that, yeah.
So
Or
we
even
get
if you did like
Wayne
a-
and Jack out there playing kickball and catching in action.
Hey. You know what we did when we did our when we did the event we had with the police, we did it right in front of the police station. We just went outside, like
Yep.
5, 6 police officers came outside and we threw water balloons at each other and took pictures.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then that was our flyer.
That's
And
cool.
It hit.
Alright,
But
y'all know what that picture say?
you could get like a couple of different ones and put in like one far in the back, like
Mhm.
the bounce house, and then
Mhm.
something in front of it.
Yeah.
And you know.
And it doesn't have
do
to
it like
just
a
all be
photo set.
those pictures, I was just thinking maybe.
Well, no, I
add
would,
a
yeah,
couple
I
of
like that
those.
idea.
There's plenty stock photos out there
I'm
too.
sure,
And if you
yes.
need, I got access to stuff, so. But no, I think people connect to faces.
They do, agreed.
Or attractions, something they,
Yeah.
you know, they realize, oh, the
Food.
kids can do that, we can
Yeah.
eat, they see the bounce house, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Stuff
that.
that like, it's gonna be like,
Listen,
oh, it's
I wanna go
entertainment.
there. Yeah.
Speaking of the
Yeah.
bubble guy, we did also talk about the lady who does face
Face
painting.
painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, that's
yes.
on there, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, no, we did,
Oh,
it was like,
oh, y'all did,
People
oh.
did, we
yeah.
had volunteers that did the face painting with the stencils and the face paint.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay.
it was
So
it was
I would-
popular.
yeah.
That and the
Yeah.
canvas painting.
They
was-
stayed
the canvas
Canvas
painting was very popular.
The canvas painting was
Yeah.
popular with
Canvas
kids and
painting.
adults.
And then,
Yeah.
like, and then you could probably get like, I'm pretty sure there's like some UCA or Hendrix kids that got like those type of classes that still need community hours.
Well, then we had good volunteers,
Yeah.
so we weren't slack on
Yeah,
those.
alright.
We had stencils too for the people that couldn't paint.
You say
So
canvas
it was-
painting?
Yeah.
Canvas painting.
Oh, they
was
did
great.
like canvas
We
painting
had
with the
just an
little.
8x.
And they love
Mhm.
that. Your daughter loved that.
I have three. I got three.
She loved it.
I
That
got
was-
three.
So that was for all ages.
Well, they can do
All
like
ages.
cultural
All
paintings, they
ages
can do,
with fun.
I like
And I
that.
got three
Yeah.
canvases now.
Who led that last year? Or did they just draw whatever they wanted?
They
just
yeah,
do whatever.
drew
Oh,
Flowers, people,
Gotcha.
or just circles, whatever the kids met down there.
What do y'all think about, now that may be perfect, cause that worked so well last year. What do y'all think about, there's people where they have one and then you're supposed to do what they did. What if someone did like a Martin Luther King or something like that, and then you had to paint, something like a paint class?
Copy it.
Or would that,
You can get them already like that. My
Get 'em
daughter
already
does
like
painting
that.
with the and it's already
Yeah.
outlined.
It's already
and
outlined.
You just paint it.
yeah, or they could do free, free,
I like the
Like a-
freelance because
yeah.
the kids just had fun.
just doing it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just doing
Yeah,
it.
I like that too,
Marlo, you're also supposed to reach out to the schools that have choirs. That's on your task.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just making sure you got
Hey,
your
let
task.
me, hey, no, listen, Marlo never, hey, listen,
We just need to make sure when we do the music, it has to have a set lineup. That's, cause that was the biggest thing last year was people.
Not following the lineup.
We just gonna start karaoke and if it don't go right, we.
yeah, and I also got,
Something.
me and Jalen got volunteers too.
Something.
So, yeah,
I've been working on that. So if you have difficulties, I know someone that can help with UCA, especially getting some volunteers.
sounds good,
They did really good last year too, the
Yeah.
volunteers. They did.
So I'm just gonna have Miss Jackie by my name.
That's fine.
Okay, cool, so we're good on face painting. No, you said face painting. What's that little lady down here, Ava went to her art classes, she did well. It will be, I forgot, but I asked her about face painting. I'm not sure if she does face paint. Y'all know somebody?
Yes, I
Okay.
thought I'll reach out to Spark. She was at Freedom Fest. And
Okay.
Oh, she actually does the.
She does like.
She does a good job.
Yeah, okay, cool, perfect. Alright, and I guess if there's a cost in some of that, we need to be having a little running budget to make sure we straight, but I think that'll be good, that'll make the experience a lot better. Have that, alright, so cool, anything else under activities for people to do? We got face painting, Felicia's gonna take care of, hair table, some, yeah. Shawana, community table, Miss Jackie, then, okay, cool. Then Bubble Guy, Meg, and then, Shawana's gonna keep the, box of sports balls. Okay. Alright, volunteers, Jalen and I are gonna get together, we have talked about it, and then I've talked to Miss Jackie as well, we'll make sure that we have volunteers,
And if you
for
need help
that.
with volunteers, I can help too. I had quite a bit last year.
And the volunteers need to be there, we need the volunteers there, what time?
We said.
What time we gonna be there?
Like 11 o'clock.
11 to 5. So we need volunteers ranging from 11 to, cause it's from 12 to 4,
12
right?
to 4, so.
So
I would say
hours,
probably about 11:45, 11:30 maybe for your volunteers.
Are you gonna have anyone help with setup? Because
that's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm
last
saying,
year,
setup.
Ms. McClain did the whole setup.
Count.
But we're gonna have more
Oh,
tents, so if we can have
gotcha.
more people out there, so we can pop out.
That makes sense. Gotcha.
Cause we'll try to get as many tents as we can, cause it was
So
hard.
that's
It's a
cool.
miss
Yeah,
a
it was
holiday
hot.
day, she
Yeah.
trying to kill us.
It was hot. It was hot.
She trying
If y'all
to
need
show
more
up.
tips, let me know, cause I have my personal from my branch, and then the other two branches also have tents, and I'll just take ownership of those.
And then we could break down volunteer shifts in 2 hours, segments.
Yep.
What did y'all do last year?
It was
From
about 2
11 to
hours.
1, 1 to 3, and 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure,
And just make sure, we're gonna have to have something that signifies volunteers, cause we want to make sure we save them like a food coupon till they get something to eat for coming out and volunteering. It was hot,
okay,
Very.
it was hot.
cool. So,
Did y'all get the bottled water last year? 'Cause I know the bottled water was at the table where we sat.
And we're gonna
and
have
that
like,
way for council.
We'll have
every
coolers.
every tent will have some,
Those
some coolers on it.
Alright, cool, so, we'll do that, a food coupon for the volunteers, and then, we can get lanyards or something to show that they're
Something
volunteering.
to identify
Lanyards,
Yeah.
identify.
volunteer staff or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They don't gotta have names and nothing on, they can tell the name, that ain't that big of a deal, but, yeah. Lanyards to identify with a food coupon we can make and print on some colorful paper, and we'll just hand them out, we'll hold those ourselves.
Cause remember
And,
last year the
we had
volunteers
tickets.
signed in, so we can just say when they
Okay.
sign in, give them
Yeah.
the ticket then.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave them the same tickets everybody else got?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Alright, cool. Do we want people to sign in again? Did they sign, that way we can kinda track the number of visitors we have?
I think it worked well last year,
Yeah.
cause that's when they came to the
Yeah, they
table, they
did.
signed in and they
Yeah,
kind.
we should still have that list too, to send out for reminders, to add to.
Oh, that'd be good, yeah.
reminder, for that was one of the
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
for
That'll be
events,
real great on that, yeah.
Yeah.
like, for stuff that we have going on, that'll be a good one for the roundtable too, to just add to that list,
Yeah.
and then send out.
Good idea.
From- And then we'll do that again, so anybody gets the food coupon, they gotta sign in to receive that. Alright, cool. And so we need volunteers, so we're gonna need dedicated volunteers for a sign-in table. Or one of us gonna do that?
I would say one of us
I
and
did
a
most of
volunteer,
it last year
Okay.
because of my leg,
Us
but I
and
think it's
volunteer.
better if we.
Okay, yeah,
at least one of us and a volunteer.
alright,
Or we can rotate it, cause I
Rotate.
think we were rotating.
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Miss
Alright.
Joanna came with that pretty plate of food and was like, yeah, sure, you got some here 'cause of
I
that.
see you gone,
Good,
Those were,
alright.
was it them enchiladas?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
they were so good.
So going back over, and we've kind of talked about this, but in order for this to be successful, and I'm talking to myself as well as each and every person on our board, we gotta make sure that we reach out to our connections, our people, and make sure they are present at the events if possible. Basically, man, if you don't got nothing else going on that Saturday morning, be there. I mean, it's September, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be food, it's gonna be activities for your kids. If you don't got kids, volunteer, but either way, go show up. And even if you only stay 2 hours, just come through. And so, that'd be cool. Speaking of that, we got enough time if we could get together, just do a video, a board member just inviting people out and share a video, not just a flyer. I think that's a great job. I vote Jalen do it. Anybody?
Second that.
Second that, okay. So Jalen's gonna, if we could get the video, Jalen's gonna do a video. It's in the minutes. Miss Jackie done wrote it in there.
I'm
now.
putting it in
That's
there
what
right
happened. Actually, it'd be nice if him and Candy kinda could do it together and just live it, That actually would be pretty cool.
Or she can do it, she can say it
I
in
mean, I
Spanish.
don't mind
That would be.
Yes. Yeah, that would be a
She
good.
said in
Spanish,
Spanish.
Jalen can do
That would
that,
be
and tying the two together.
Look at
It's
there.
That'd be great.
I like that. That's
Alright,
really
so
good.
good job, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping with the video.
Okay, Wayne said he's gonna help with the video too. Alright, so whoever wanna help with, but I think people have a tendency to watch a short video versus reading something.
Yeah, they do.
And then what we could do when we send the video out, we can attach a link to the flyer in the comments.
Good idea,
And I think that would be,
good idea.
Yeah.
and then you can have some
And do it in
kids.
the playground section in the park.
I'll volunteer my kids to run through and throw a frisbee in the background while y'all, we'll make it a whole.
We'll make it a whole good thing, boy.
I'll get my
But-
grandbabies, but yeah, we just,
But it'll be local faces, people know, and I think that will be a connection that they could make. And then having the part with Candy doing it in Spanish, I think that'll be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could bring out like my cornhole boards or something.
Yeah, we
And then
can.
like I throw it and then she say something in Spanish like at the thing, like, like an activity that we're gonna have.
He done turned into full-on producer over here. Hey, forget the trend.
Video in about 30 to 60 seconds.
Yeah, we can still make it that. We can
He gonna pan from the kids playing bago
You know what I'm
to
saying?
So that, yeah.
full-on. Hey, look.
I do a couple.
Y'all gonna say
different ones.
produced by
60 seconds.
Lane, yeah, when y'all go to AMC next time.
Just something different.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I think that'd be, if we can pull that off, I think that'd be great. And if the city can, I mean, cell phones still do a good job now, and I edit video all the time, so
Yeah.
we'll make it work.
And I have
They
to
got good
admit,
apps on there.
although I love iPhone and I am an iPhone owner, Androids have
I got my
amazing
Android.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is,
It
it's
doesn't,
the only way to go.
I don't know about that part, y'all just have good
We ain't gonna
cameras.
get carried
you
away.
I
know?
say,
The
yeah,
only thing works for you, if your whole life is Apple, then yes, Apple
that's
works.
why I
Yeah,
switched.
that's
If
how
your
it
whole
is for
life is
us.
Apple,
Never.
My
Samsung's
family
better.
is Apple.
Yeah.
It's better.
My whole life ain't Apple, cause I don't have the Mac and all that stuff, but
But that goes with your, probably with your work stuff on your watch.
Yeah.
They got Samsung got
Yeah.
watches too.
no, this just goes
This
with
came
my
out with a
own
new watch,
self
actually.
stuff.
Huh?
The Samsung Motion,
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright, let's get back, alright, invite circle of influence, it all comes together, alright? That's why we're a good team, invite circle of influence, friends, family, community members. The local churches put it on the announcements boards, all that stuff, you know, and really try to get people to get things out. On that, then we're gonna do advertising, promoting, we just talked about how we're gonna take care of that. Setup and breakdown, we'll be there at 11, we were planning to leave at 5, but we're gonna have a volunteer crew so that we could kind of walk, not per se manage, but we can focus on making sure that those people that come have a very good time when they
Yeah.
meet us. I don't want us so involved with the day-to-day task,
Yeah.
day-to-day tasks like we run a business.
Yeah.
The task that we
Yeah.
can't greet people, talk to people, and things like that. And so,
Answer questions,
and-
give them
yeah,
direction
yeah.
on
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're kind of hands-free a
Available.
little bit, you
Yeah.
know, to have time. And even if that means we rotate the sign-in table, whoever's not at the sign-in
Sign-in
table is just
table.
walking
Yeah.
around meeting people,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I think we got to be intentional about making some connections that we wouldn't typically make while we have that audience present. All right. Yeah.
So, real quick, on the advertising and promotion part of that, the chamber sends out an email
Yeah, they
every,
do.
with events going around Conway. We need to make sure we can get on that before they send out the event email for, and I don't know when they send it, but for that month.
That reaches a lot of people.
It
too.
does, sure does, all the members of the chamber.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we plan on doing something, hopefully with the announcements for downtown as well.
Okay, cool. Nice.
perfect.
All right. So what's next with Miss Shawan?
All right. So we just kind of moved the build and grow, where you are from the, to the what's next portion. So we've been asked the question like, what's next for, the Diversity Advisory Council? What is the next step? You know, what is next for diversity? And I kind of think that ties into, the build and grow, because there may be other things that we're looking at doing at some point or stepping into at some point. But I do think right now we have to focus on building where we are and growing where we are. And it's a slow process. So from where we first started in the creation of the council to where we currently are, which has been about 3 years now, has it been? About 3 years
Yeah.
now. It's a slow grow, but it's a grow. So it is growing, and I say that because I think we have to maximize the current events that we have and what we're currently doing before we are able to move on to anything else. And I say that in the sense of we can have stuff and that's great, but are we maximizing the quality of what we have, and are we maximizing the quantity of what we have? Because the numbers do matter as well. You know, we kind of talked about attendance. And I think we're doing better at that, but I do think we all can agree that we have like a lot of room to grow with the success of those particular events, especially as it relates to numbers. In the round table, as well as the culture in the park. We talked about it for a while, and then we never got anything off, we weren't able to get anything off the ground, I wouldn't say never, but then we started last year. And it's been like a little slow roll uphill, but we're going uphill. So I think if we can turn like our attention and our focus to maximize those to where we can really look at them holistically and say, you know what, this is a success. And then it's a continued success for a couple of years or so, then we can say, hey, what is our next step? But for now, I think it is us just kind of growing where we are and building where we are, making sure that what we have in quality, quantity, and how we want to reach our community from the aspect that we initially looked at and agreed upon. We're doing that effectively. So that was just kind of my thoughts on that.
No, I agree. I think we finally got a year of great council member attendance under our belt.
That part.
And I mean, and all that matters. 'Cause I've been part of organizations that grew too quick, but the foundation was shaky, and then now you are up and people know you, and then it crumbles and you have to rebuild. So I'm grateful for everybody and their commitment to the board. And I think having a narrow focus isn't a bad thing, because if you have a narrow focus, you can become really great at something. And I think this board is also finding its voice, because there's a lot of expectations and opinions on how this board should be ran and what it could do. But honestly, they may not be accurately portrayed on what we can even do, you know, or what the purpose of it. So we have those two major goals that we're working on from the premise of, and this board could do a lot of stuff, but the capacity isn't there to do a lot of stuff. And so until that grows, we gotta stick to what we know and become better at what we do. And I think once we do that, those two events, and then being able to provide even something social media wise about what's happening. I mean, even if the roundtable, perception versus reality, just something blasting out. Hey, look, this month, this is what we put out. That could be a next task that doesn't require a lot of time. But I think in order to do that, it'll be time have to be spent outside of this room. And so that will have to be a commitment that people are willing to own in order for this to take place, because we don't spend enough time together to really do a lot. It has to be some work done outside. So as we consider endeavoring and doing more requires more time. And there's nothing wrong with saying no in order to kind of be a sniper on a few things and really hit the target well. So I agree with you 100%. And I think we just keep going, because this is new to the city too. And I researched a few different cities, and the board looks different in different places, and in the aspect of what it does and how it functions. And we're still finding our way here in Conway, but I think it's going to be well. And then we'll be founders to something really great to the people that move in after us. When our terms and stuff in and we have to roll off, they'll be able to work and grow and run faster. I'm a math guy, kind of like that exponential chart. It's flat for a long time, but then when it takes off, it shoots straight up. And so our work now is to really build that great. I gave you the picture. I gave you the picture. We like an airplane. We on the runway. We making sure we're getting the speed up. We putting the flaps down. We getting all that rolling. And so it'll be something good, so that when it takes off, it'll sustain. And I think that's important. It feels slow, but it's important, and it's an important growth. So I appreciate you guys for being there and doing that. Thanks, Shawana, for all the support that you provide for us.
I do want to say real quick, if you don't mind, thank you for saying that and for that update. And do y'all have a goal in mind, at least long-term goal, even surpassing us, for when you might want to add topics to discussion? So like 2 years?
I think it's hard to put a label on that right now when we're trying to get to when we're trying to maximize where we actually are engaging in.
Yeah.
And I say that because this is our second year with Culture in the Park.
Yeah.
This is our second year going into Culture in the Park, but we've had 2 community roundtables. And I don't think I think until we can at least gather an honest number on that, to where we can not just the number, because I think the quality of those have been good, but the quantity is not. So we can't really focus on something different when we don't have the quantity that we need for
Yeah.
something that we're trying to anchor.
Right.
So it's like if we're already stretched thin and we can't anchor that, we can't add anything else to it because that's not solidified or anchored.
And that I
So
see.
that's hard to
Yeah.
put. It would be good to say, oh, in 2 years and 5 years we can do that,
Mm-hmm.
but is that realistic when we've done it 2 years and we still can't say this has been a
Yeah.
successful number for us?
And I get that, and I love that we're focusing on the quantity, adding people, getting the word out. I think Culture in the Park, in my opinion, is probably one of the best things the city has done. Honestly, I think it's something that celebrates all cultures, and that's important. And to show the citizens that, hey, we celebrate everybody, so I love that. And I just wanted to check in. I do my checking in all the time. So.
And the community roundtable is something too, because it gives an opportunity for there to be dialogue and discussion,
Yeah.
which was the big thing community-wide that the community asked for, to be able to have the dialogue and discussion, and we've created that. So I think we do have to just continue to take that energy to see how can we build this and how we can maximize it to make it the most efficient and effective
Love that.
for the community as possible. And I think we're doing that. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I can't, we're going, but it may take us a little time.
Love
And I just want to say, from the city's point of view, I think the city appreciates you guys. These are not paid positions, they're volunteers, so, anytime you spend away from your families and friends or your jobs, you don't have to do it, so we appreciate
it.
you, and so we want to be mindful of your time too. So that's just a thanks from us, because we do appreciate you guys.
And again, I think in adding on to that, just kind of looking at to build and grow where we currently are. Because again, until we're anchored, if you tie something to something that's not rooted good, it's gonna come up rooted. And that's kind of what we want to make sure that it's anchored well.
I don't think it's said enough. I know that y'all work hard, and it's important to have your position here. And it really, it's a major thing. It's not all, as you know, it's not all over. And so I personally appreciate everything that y'all do, because I know it's hard work.
So, appreciate that and the feedback. And I'm just listening to all of that. So, my takeaway from everything y'all just say, because I'm always trying to summarize. I think, and I could be wrong, Shawana, so you just fix me if I'm wrong, because I don't mind nobody correcting me. I think we got to build engagement. That's what I'm hearing. We got an engagement issue. And so until this board is able to build more engagement and make an impact, I think that's what I heard when you said quantity, because at first I was like, quantity? But I think we got to build engagement. We got to build engagement. We got to have we got to build an audience of people who want to hear what we have to say, and then we got to offer them valuable information that can benefit our community. It may not be what they want to hear. It may not even be the topic they want to hear, but they know if it comes from us, then it is credible information, that is unbiased information, that's presented factually to people. And that's the goal, is to build that engagement. And I think that's gonna come. We can share all the social media we want, but I think we're gonna have to just plug in and probably get some people that maybe got followers and things like that. Be like, hey, we need some help. I mean, we share something, then they share something type deal. But I think I'm hearing engagement. And so it wasn't the topic. We got old business and new business. But I think we need, as we go into Culture in the Park and we leave this meeting, I think we need to be thinking about how we got the list, we got the sign up, we know that'll be an audience of, what do we select, phone, email, or just from the?
We did both. I think it was more email.
So cool. And did we get permissions to be like on a listserv?
That was the thing for them to
So we could begin to
information.
build some engagements there, just to build something, and then have an audience of people. And I think from there, then we can begin to then engage the community on what they wanna hear. Because what I don't wanna do is assume what people wanna hear. I'd rather be like, okay, this is our target audience, we got 200 people that on this listserv, we put out something, we're like, hey, what do you feel this community needs? You know, hear from them and then kind of filter that through our objectives and see if it matches, and if it passes through the filter, then we target and give the community what they ask for, versus us trying to create something that they really not into. That's what I heard from all of that.
Yes, and I would add on, I just add on to that, because we gotta look at it, each year when we do these events, we're learning something new, right? Last year from Culture in the Park, there were a few things that we were able to take away from Culture in the Park. One of those being volunteers to help set up and break down, right? So when we actually start engaging in that, that's still gonna take more time, that's gonna take more energy. And then as those things grow, then our responsibility to those things grow.
Yep.
So it's kind of taking that time to understand those things, process those things without rushing that process, to where what we're really trying to reach on our initial goals is solidified, and we have to be able to dig deep enough to dig that root, to where if something worse, it's not gonna wash it off or wash it away. But that engagement list is built, the quality of those, you know, the engagement piece of that is built, the quality of that is built in such a way to where we no longer have to sell it, it's established enough to sell itself, and we are nowhere near that right now. I mean, we doing good, but we're.
Yeah, right.
We got it.
Yeah, okay.
Agreed, yeah.
Any old business, any new business? Alright, so we don't have, we did well on time, we're right at our hour.
We did it right. We did very good.
So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Alright, so consider this meeting adjourned.